If this is the first time you're listening to the Wealthy Wednesday show, please remember to subscribe and click on the like button. This is Lucy McMonagle. I am the Mystic Wealth Creator, and I mentor mystic entrepreneurs to create more freedom in their business through conscious wealth creation so that they can make a big impact in the world and leave a legacy. I truly believe that when we accept our mystic powers and use them as entrepreneurs, that we will accelerate the transformation of this world so that we can bring about more peace and harmony, free from hunger and free from war. So today we have a very special edition of the Wealthy Wednesday show, and I'd like to invite you to click on the subscribe button and click on the like button. So please make sure you share this Wealthy Wednesday show with any of your friends, post it on your social media, and be able to put the comments below so I can provide you with exactly what you're looking for and what you want to get out of this show. So now let's get started. Hey, welcome to another edition of the Wealthy Wednesday show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle, and I am a visionary mystic entrepreneur known as the Mystic Wealth Creator. I am the secret behind powerful and successful leaders that are making changes in this world and creating conscious communities. With my alchemy skills and abilities to clear energy, direct the flow, and being the backbone of advisement, I bring these leaders into divine union with their greatest purpose and their life mission. So today I have an incredible, absolutely exciting individual that's going to help you start understanding real estate investment for women, and her expertise is bliss-filled. So I want you to go grab a pen, grab a paper, and make sure that you pay careful attention because we have the incredible Moneeka Sawyer, and she is often described as the most blissful person you will ever meet, and she has been investing in real estate for over 20 years and has seen all different kinds of cycles in the market, and still she turns over 10,000 she's been able to turn over 10,000 into 2 million, working only 5 to 10 hours per month with very, very little stress. So I want to welcome you to the Wealth of Wednesday show, Moneeka.
Hi there, Lucy. How are you?
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, you have built multi-million-dollar businesses. You've traveled over 55 countries. You dance every single day. And you're also known as the blissful person, and you're a best-selling author. Can you tell us a little bit about, your book, your award-winning book, Choose Bliss, The Power and Practice of Joy and Contentment, because that ties into my question of what is bliss?
Yeah. Well, actually, let me define what is bliss. Let's just start there. So I define bliss as a deep sense of joy and contentment and the confidence that you can handle anything that comes your way. It's emotional mastery and emotional resilience. So that's my definition of bliss. And sort of how I got there is, it's a really long story, but I grew up the only colored person in a very white community. And so I was bullied and tormented constantly. And then as I grew older, the bullying turned into really horrible things that boys do to girls. And then, as I fell into a deep depression and realized that there had to be more to life than this. And so I went on my own journey to find bliss again for myself. And in the process, I met an amazing coach. I have to say, I feel like he saved my life. And then he hired me underneath him to start coaching other people with the techniques that he shared with me, obviously, but also what I brought to the table from my own life experience. And so I became an executive coach under him. And one of the things that was interesting, you attract the clients that need you, right? Mm-hmm. And the clients that needed me were, their businesses were falling apart. Their marriages were falling apart. They didn't have relationships with their children. They had multi-million-dollar businesses. They were what we would consider hugely successful. And the thing is, they were miserable. And so through my life experience, I had all these tools, right, to show them how to create bliss. So we did that. And in my book, I have like the strategies that work the most for most of my clients. And when they would use these strategies, their lives would come back together. Their businesses, suddenly they had passion again. So they would start to take off. They became more innovative. Their marriages came back together. Their children started paying a little more attention. Life started to work. And that's the thing about bliss. Mm-hmm. It's circular, right? We think that circumstance is going to give us happiness.
True.
The reality is that circumstance can support our happiness, but it can't give us happiness. That really, really is, and I know this sounds so trite, but it really, really is an inside job. And you have control over it, right? As long as you believe that it's an inside job, you have control now. Yes. You're not at the mercy of circumstance and people. So anyway, so that's the journey through bliss. And the reason that I wrote the book was because I could only coach one-on-one so many people, and I just felt like the world needed it. So I could reach so many more people if I wrote the book. So I got it out there. I was so delighted at the reception that I got. It became a bestseller immediately. I've done the circuit on television. I've been on NBC, Fox, CBS, the CW, like all over the nation. So wow, thank goodness people are interested in this topic because it's so important. And then the question that I got was really like, is bliss really possible when you're broke? Is bliss really possible when you're in pain? And the answer to that is yes. However, it's a lot easier to be blissful if you've got those things taken care of. If you've got your health, you're healthy. If you're not in physical pain, if you're not in emotional, mental pain, and if you're not in financial pain. So in my book, we talk about that emotional and the mental, right? And through talking about real estate now, we're talking about building blissful wealth. So you can get that piece handled so that then you can focus more on building a joyful life. Your passion, your mission, whatever it is you're out there to do, you can focus more on that rather than how do I pay the bills? I'm feeling broke. I don't feel safe. That's the thing about money is it really helps, especially for us women, right? It helps us to feel safe. And that's so really, really important.
Absolutely. And as women entrepreneurs, feeling safe in this big world can really empower us and being able to make us move forward. And, you are an expert at Bliss, you're an expert at real estate investing. How did you put Bliss together with investing?
Right. So I actually come from a long line of real estate investing with my family. So everybody in our family invests in real estate. But the thing that I noticed with the generation before me, so my dad specifically, is that he was able to build a huge amount of wealth. He's an immigrant that came to this country with $200 in his pocket and built multi-million-dollar real estate business. But he suffered a lot of stress. And as I grew up, from my history, like it was a high priority for me to stay joyful. So I took what I learned from my dad, and then I've put in the strategies and the techniques to make real estate investing low stress, low time commitment. And then when I have challenges, because challenges come up, right, in all of our businesses, when I have challenges, I've got the strategies and techniques and tools so I can bring myself back to an equilibrium. I call it the bliss equilibrium. I can bring it back to that so that then I can make decisions from a place of like sort of looking at it as a puzzle or a game rather than a freak out that things are going wrong. And that's what I do really differently is I help people to invest in a way that's playful, joyful. It's like more of a game. And then the challenges become puzzles, which is fun, right? And it helps people to build wealth in a much more satisfying, joyful way. So that's kind of how I've tied the two together.
Wow. That's really exciting. And as you've been learning how to do the blissfulness with the investment, and you've worked with all of these incredible individuals, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you found that individuals do make when it comes to real estate investments or even being in the real estate market?
Yeah. They don't get started. They really give in to their fear. So I hear an awful lot of, oh, it's too hard. Oh, I don't have the money. The one I'm hearing the most of right now is the market is overinflated. I just want to wait. And here's the thing about real estate. Real estate in general, there's no guarantees in the world, but in general, it will go up. It has dips. It's had big corrections. I've actually bought on the top of two of those corrections, 2001 and 2008, I bought at the top. The thing is, you have to have a strategy about how you're going to ride the waves so that you can then benefit over the long term. So I'll give you a really, really quick story. In 2008, I bought my dream home. I actually live in it now. And it was $1 million home. And then the market crash happened. And literally within 3 months, I lost $300,000.
Wow.
Now, a lot of people would freak out, sell, get the heck out of California, right? Mm-hmm. People did all sorts of crazy things. But because of my strategy, which is hold real estate long term, I was able to ride that out. And now, 10 years later, the property is worth it has an equity. Now it has equity of $400,000. But you want to make sure that you've got a long-term plan.
Yes.
And then but the very first thing is just get started. Like do something, start to learn, figure out the ways to get past your fear. And that's what I teach people a lot is how to get past that fear, how to take action, how to stand in your power and stand for yourself so that you can create the desired outcome, the future that you dream of, the financial freedom that you deserve.
Yes. Wow. So the very first way that they should get started is to, could you repeat that again?
Yeah.
I just completely glitched.
I know I said a lot of things there. Get started. Commit to getting started, whatever that looks like. Get some education. If you've already been getting education for 2 or 3 years, which a lot of people have, take the first step. Go to a financial planner or a mortgage broker. Find out what you really can afford to get. But start taking action because without action, nothing happens.
That's so true. That's so true. And these days, they're actually suggesting that you find out how much you can get, but shop around. And if you do this within like a 2 or 3 week period, where if they're going to ping your credit report, mm-hmm. you can explain that you were shopping around for the best rate. Is that correct?
Yeah, and actually it's 1 month and you don't even have to explain it.
Oh,
the credit bureaus know it. Like if you get a lot of inquiries, they know, and so they'll know. And the mortgage companies will submit it as a mortgage inquiry. So it doesn't even bother your credit usually. Maybe like 5 points, but that's usually not a big deal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So can you give us one tip that maybe can help individuals to start investing more joyfully? I mean, you've already talked about getting started, do your research, get pre-approved. Is there some other information that the individuals that are listening to this should write down and pay very careful attention to?
Yes. Here's the thing. in life, if you want to be blissful, you need tools to be blissful. So when you're out there, let's say you're talking to a mortgage broker and they start asking you about numbers and you start to get overwhelmed, right? Or if you're stressed out in traffic, just in daily life, but specifically with real estate too. I have a technique that I call stop, drop, and breathe. Do you want to hear about it?
Yes, I would love to hear about stop, drop, and breathe.
So anytime you're starting to feel overwhelmed, scared, you don't want to take that step, or you're in fear, or you're upset, or you're dealing with a difficult person, the very first thing, all of this stuff starts to happen in your head, right? You've got all these stories, you've got all this stress. So the very first thing is to interrupt what's going on in your head. So stop. And I always say, Moneeka. And then you drop into your body, right? Because the stress is like all your muscles are clenched up, right? So you drop into your body, drop into your heart, and take 3 deep breaths. Do that 3 times. Now, approach whatever you're doing, whether it's stress, it's a conversation, it's a difficult person, it's a decision, from that place of from your heart, from your true knowingness. As women, we have so much intuition to guide us, from a place of being grounded, and you can move forward from that place. I use this in my real estate business every single day.
Wow. I can definitely see where you would definitely need that. And in real estate, especially with the ebbs and the flows and in the long-term strategy, I have to, after owning 4 properties and on the part of buying my 5th property at this moment as my dream home.
Yay!
I can honestly say long-term investments pave the way.
Yes, they do.
Especially in real estate. And making sure that if you're going to buy something, it's even if it has the dips and you buy it at the top of the market, when you hold it long term, when my long terms were at 5 to 8 years. Sometimes you have to hold it to 10 years.
Yeah. Just have a plan.
Yes.
Like, don't plan on selling in 2 years. I could have people come to me all the time. Oh, I'm thinking about moving out of the country, in 2 years, but I want to buy a house right now. No, unless you plan, you can hold it and rent it, but just make sure that you have the knowledge to make sure that you can ride whatever the waves may be, and I teach all of that stuff, how to hold long-term, how to ride out the cycles, all of that stuff. That's actually what I teach in my mastermind and my coursework.
Fabulous. And do you have a specific strategy where you've turned $10,000 into, it is $2 million, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you have a download that individuals can get a hold of.
Yes.
That talk about that. Can you give us a little bit more information?
Yeah.
And then can you spell out the website so that individuals who are listening to this on their iPhone or their Android, that they'll be able to write it down since they have a pen and paper in hand?
Awesome. Yes. So I started with $10,000. That was a wedding gift. I put 10% down on a piece of property. No, sorry. I put 5% down on a piece of property. And I have then grown that $10,000 into over $2 million in real estate holdings today. That's not including what I've sold and the cash that I have elsewhere. So it's grown quite a lot. And the strategy is, I broke it completely down in an ebook, a download and I give you literally the years of what happened what happened during those dips, what decisions that I made. So you can really see a track record of 20 years of how you can build wealth through real estate. That download is available for free at blissfulinvestor.com. So I'll spell it. Blissful is B as in boy, L-I-S as in Sam, S, F as in Frank, U-L, investor, INVESTOR.com. So blissfulinvestor.com.
Wow.
And so that's free for your guests. Absolutely.
Thank you. That's so amazing to have that. And I'm actually going to make sure I get that too, because
Yay!
I love the idea of learning from somebody who's already done it more so than what I have. So That's fabulous. Is there any last tips? I know the time has gone so incredibly fast. I could ask you so many questions, and I'm definitely would love to have you back on the show again. But I wanted to ask, is there any last tidbits that you'd like to leave our audience before we say our farewells?
Yes, a couple of things. First of all, check out my new podcast, Real Estate Investing for Women, on iTunes. And I'm actually going to have Lucy on the show. I'm so excited about that. So I have lots of amazing guests. So people that are listening can get more information and build more confidence. And it's a really fun show. So definitely take a look at that. Here's a tip that I would like to leave everybody with. Remember, bliss is your birthright. You can choose it. So choose to live your bliss every single day.
That is definitely powerful. Choose to live your bliss every single day. And as you choose, you have more empowerment. So, Moneeka, it's so scrumptious. It's so perfect. And you are so absolutely amazing in everything that you do, your endeavors, and how you empower individuals. I want to thank you for being on the Wealthy Wednesday show, and thank you for showing up and helping women to become more powerful investors, to become more blissful, and to become more of themselves, because when you're blissful and you're empowered, you become your true authentic self. So thank you for doing that for everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been an honor.
Welcome. And I want to thank my audience. I'm so glad you had a pen and paper. These tidbits that Moneeka has given you is really going to help you change around your life, your business. And if you've had situations where, you're making really good money, but your life kind of is falling apart, make sure you get a hold of her book, because you'll be able to get a hold of her from that website. So until next time, I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us. I'm so excited. We're moving into we're beyond our third year, and we're moving into more and exciting guests coming up. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and you let us know, what did you love about this show? Put the comments below if you're on our YouTube channel, if you're listening to one of the other platforms that we have this show on, and let me know what you would like me to bring to the table for you in the future. So until next time, abundant blessings. Are you ready to change your money flow? Would you like to get beyond the six figures that you keep bumping up against? Well, let me tell you, my book, Magical Money Manifestations, is going to help you create money manifestations on autopilot so that you will have more money, more freedom, and more joy in your life. Go to magicalmoneymanifestations.com to find out more information. Thank you for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday Show. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle. I am the Mystic Wealth Creator, a mentor for conscious women entrepreneurs, helping them create more freedom in their business through conscious wealth creation. I would love to extend to you a free gift. And all you need to do is go to my website at lucymcmonagle.com. That's LucyMcmonagle.com to get your free gift. So until next time, abundant blessings.